Hi, I'm Chan,
Hi, I'm Yo.
and this is
MUMxiety.
Okay, you are married, right?
Yep. Are you?
Yes, I am. Of course, I am. Lah.
Ops.
No, I mean, well, we know each other, so we know for sure we are both married. Are you the kind of couple who's living with in-laws, then waiting for a BTO? Are you guys living together already?
So for us, I moved out on my own at the start of COVID.
Okay.
So during the start of COVID, I was renting a place, and I lived there on my own for quite a bit. Uh, Actually not very much a bit, but for quite a while before my partner moved in with me. It was kind of those, like, the regular boyfriend girlfriend suddenly move in kind. Like, one day move the toothbrush, then one day move some clothes.
Slowly lah, you move in.
Yeah. So then he moved in with me, and then we got our own place sometime last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we got our keys at the end of 2023, and then we moved in early last year. So we've been living together in our own place for about a year now. I think we just crossed a year and a bit. Yeah. So that's kind of our living situation. Don't have to live with in-laws.
So how was it? Like, is it very different from, like, since you have a fur kid, right? So how is it like comparing, like, living alone and like living together with a fur kid?
I think with all people, living alone versus living together was already a lot of adjustment. And then I think with my dog was even more adjustments. I think living alone was great because you deal with your own levels of OCD, particularness.
Particularness.
How is that even a word?
Someone like
Like,
that,
however particular you are in terms of cleanliness, in terms of how things are placed and all that, you deal with it yourself, right? And then when you live with a partner, how much of it are you willing to let go? Because you might have differing levels of cleanliness, for example. Some people might think toilet wash, I don't know how often you need to wash, but like some people don't think you need to wash that often, or like vacuuming, mopping, like let's not get into that lah, huh? So everyone has varying levels of that. And so I think when you go from living alone to living together, just as two people, there's already a lot of that. And then that takes yet another hit when you end up living with a pet. Because, like, okay, I mean, for example, you've been to my house.
Yeah.
You know how my cutlery drawer looks like.
Yes.
Right? And at the start when we had our new place and we had friends coming over, and then we did house tours and stuff like that, my husband happily said whenever anyone opened our cutlery drawer, everyone was like, and no, usually everyone's first comment is like, wow, right? Because I have a box for each type of cutlery.
And the fridge.
Okay, yeah, my fridge is another. Okay, yes, fridge, same thing. So we talk about cutlery drawer first. So my cutlery is like I have one box for forks, one for knives, one for spoons, one for chopsticks, one for straws, one for whatever you have. Like, okay, everything has a box,
Okay.
right? My fridge, my drinks are all placed in a row. Like,
Yes, the same kind.
Look like convenience store, the
Really
drinks
looks
cupboard.
great though.
Right.
Looks
So
great.
so those are the things that I am more particular with. Like, to me, my line to my partner, and that has never changed, was everything has a home. And everything should go back.
But then again, right, your 放回原位 is how? Like, is it like just back to the same rack, or is it like those the same rack then the third from the left kind of thing?
Okay, yeah. So for me, right, I have since, because I won't say I have an OCD, because even sometimes when things are not in its exact position, I'm not like all itchy and like I cannot deal, I must move it, right? But there's a part of me that doesn't really like mess. In terms of, like, okay, organized mess is another thing lah, huh? Everybody has that bit in their brain, and I have a bit of that also. But I grew up with parents that like to hoard a bit. Like, my parents' place has a lot of things, right? And it's everywhere. You know where your things go, but there's that. So to me, everything has a home in the sense that everything has a box where they belong to. Everything has a drawer or a cupboard that they belong to. And everything should go back there at the end of the day. So by the main door, I have a drawer. I have a drawer for all my keys, right? There's a box for all the coins. Then in the cutlery drawer, there's the box for the fork, the box for the spoon, the box for the knife. So these things need to go back into that box. But of course, when you throw in that box, then the box messy, then 就算了啦. Cause like, how do you make sure that the knives are like stacked up against each other in the same place all the time. And I think so everything has its home, right? Everything has to go back to its place. And for me, that is something that I couldn't let go when it came to living with my partner, because I had come to realize that he is the kind of person that, I mean, he's not the kind that will come and throw his socks all over the place. No, the socks still go into the laundry basket, right? But sometimes you come back, you're tired, you just want to put your stuff here and there. And then there was a period in time in my previous rental apartment where the dining table was the grave for all things. Like, you've come to my place at the start when the dining table was empty, and then you came to my place in my rental apartment much later when there was no space on the dining table.
Yes.
There was only 2 slivers of space for us to eat dinner. Like, the rest was just a graveyard of shit, right?
At least there was some space lah.
Yeah, because we need to eat dinner. Like, that wasn't a place that we had a living room, so the meals had to be in the kitchen. So it's through things like that. Like, and sometimes the thing is, it really becomes a grave because everyone just drops things there. And as it grows and mushrooms, right, you don't realize yourself that there are a lot of things there. And it was also something that I came to also end up just placing on the table. And so I didn't like that. So when we got our own place, again, I started to implement everything at his own home. Everything should go back to where it should be. Right? And then plates also, like, plates have a particular way of being placed in the drawer, bowls and things like that. And like cups were stacked so nicely in the drawer that if you take out one cup and you don't put it back in the same place, it's not going to fit back in the drawer again.
Oh yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's the very annoying part. Like,
yeah, like they all fit so nicely already, right? That if you take out too many things and then you can't find a way to put it back in, right, they just won't fit. So I think there were things that we had to learn to adjust to each other. Preferences, outside clothes on the sofa, outside clothes on the bed. Oh wow, we can go into a whole discussion about this because everyone again has different levels of cleanliness, right? Or like particularness, outside germs. Like, where do we draw the line? I think you have a lot to
I
weigh
have to
in on this.
shower every time I step out of the house.
Like full hair wash, everything.
Yeah, everything,
wash.
the full, like from top to toe every single time. So and I don't really go out lah because like who washes their hair like multiple times a day? Like, we're talking about ladies with long hair. Like, I have really long hair.
And thick, long and thick.
Yeah. So it's really such a chore. So I don't really do that. So I don't go out. Like, I don't even go out. Like,
Huh?
So
That's
sad.
sad.
so sad. But my daughter can though. Double standard.
You know, so that's the thing, right? Okay, so we go back to when you leave just the two of you, right? Versus when the child or the kid appears, right? So for example, for me, cutleries and all that, no difference because the dog don't touch my cutleries, ma. I got no cutlery for the dog also. There's just a drawer where all her things go. So that's fine, right? No, but the difference I feel when it comes, right, is like cleanliness of the house sometimes. Okay, for me, the line is not so bad because my bottom line was always my master bedroom is the cleanest place in my house.
Then you always got fur everywhere, no man.
No, my dog doesn't shed.
Okay.
Yes, so I got
thing.
my dog's like supposedly hyperallergenic, but she really doesn't shed very much lah, cause she's single coated and all that.
Because you can choose, ma.
Correct.
Yeah.
So cutlery drawer, all that, fridge, nothing to do with my dog lah. But things like master bedroom. So my master bedroom was always the cleanest place in my room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my bottom line was always, so people like Chan needs to shower after she comes home every time. For me, ours just wash feet lah, quite normal in Asian households, right? You come home.
Can't you say that's not me lah? I must say
Same.
that's only after I get married and like that's something like my spouse is super particular about.
Also adjustments.
Yeah, also adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not part of my life, but it became part of my life after marriage. And
Yeah. So see adjusting to each other.
I think my kid needs to start learning already also.
Yeah, so I think when you have, so mine was, master bedroom was the cleanest. I come home from outside, any of us come from outside. Our own minimum was we just need to wash our feet, right? And because we have guests coming in, and I can't make guests change their outside clothes into like pajamas, right?
Correct.
So my sofa was always like, in that sense, free for all. Like, you can sit in outside clothes on my sofa. That's fine. We just vacuum it and clean it whenever we need to, right? But my bottom line was that before you got in bed, be it for a nap or for dinner, you had to like wash your body. Don't need to wash hair lah, huh? Okay, pillowcase can change.
Then my spouse will argue. Then 你的头肮脏 then 你躺你的床铺是肮脏 你枕
Yeah,
头肮
so
脏整个
at
肮
the
脏
at the start, right, I consider if I want to nap, right, I will put a pillow. No, so the thing is now I don't nap on my bed. I nap on my sofa.
Yeah, that's why he
Yeah. So my
He
husband
also-
also has kind of, in that sense, adjusted to nap on the sofa. Unless he really needs to properly sleep, like close the curtain and all that, right? Then he will wash up before he goes to bed and then take his nap there. And so you need to wash and change into sleeping clothes before you go into the master bedroom or like get on the bed, right? If it's a day where we are home the whole day, you come out of the room, right? You change into like another set of clothes. So it's like home clothes, but not a set that you sleep in.
Okay, that is something.
So basically, your sleeping clothes, right, will just stay in the master bedroom on the bed. Pajamas. But the minute you come out of the room, okay, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest here. We wear our pajamas lah. You wear a few days before you change lah. Cause we sleep is aircon lah, right? So I don't change my pajamas every day. That's one thing. But so my pajamas will only stay on the master bedroom bed. The minute I wake up in the morning, I will change into another set of clothes. It's like the 去楼下 kind of clothes, you know, like t-shirt and shorts. Then I will hang around my living room in that set of clothes.
Guys, I just want to tell you guys, if your spouse or your to-be spouse haven't spoused yet is a Virgo, you all need to ask first.
No, but
ask before you all get married and move in. No.
Have these conversations because my partner was the kind that outside clothes can go on the bed one.
Huh? You need to have this kind of conversation. Really, it's breaking point for them.
Can fight one. Really, it's like I will fight you because, like, otherwise you change the freaking bedsheet every day. Okay, you go and change the freaking bedsheet. I hate changing bedsheets. Like there are chores that I enjoy doing. There are chores that I put up with doing, and there are chores I truly hate doing. Changing a bedsheet is one that I truly hate. Okay, mattresses are heavy AF. Okay.
Yeah, so PSA guys, if you see Virgo, just Virgo. Okay, be careful. Be very careful.
Hey, it's not just us, okay? But so that was my bottom line, right? Master bedroom. I wouldn't say that line has changed because for us with the pet, we still don't let her into our master bedroom, right? So we don't have that double standard in that sense. But honestly, does my dog wash her feet every time when we come back from outside? I don't go to the extent of washing because her fur is not short. So if I do wash her feet, I need to blow dry it. So that whole process, if it's just feet alone, already takes half an hour. So coming home from outside, right, where we just clean lah, we tell ourselves that antibacterial pet wipes are good enough lah, then we clean 4-5 times before we let her.
Say you cannot stop a toddler. Once you open the front door, you put her on the floor, she just go wherever she wants. You can't stop her. Before you close the door, she's already in the master bedroom. So how can you stop? You can't stop.
Yeah, so for my dog, I think for my dog also, we practice a lot of impulse training. I think that's what it's called, where we open doors and she has to wait for a command before she can go in. But also to circumvent the chonging wherever she's not supposed to go to. A lot of the doors in my house are now closed. You used to come to my house and every door was open, correct, right? Because I'm the kind I like to tong feng, okay? And that's sunlight needs to come in. So all the room doors are open. Even the toilet door is open because air that's out, man. Humidity is bad in Singapore, okay? But so I used to have all the doors open. Kitchen door open, everything open. If it's a windy day, even my main door is open, right? So that wind flows through. But now...
Then dusty, no way.
Dusty, yes, but dusty can vacuum. I rather dusty I vacuum than very stuffy inside.
Okay, if you are listening to this Chan's husband, please, dusty can vacuum. Can open window, please. Thank you.
You need fresh air lah. You cannot every day recycle window, air. You will sick one.
I know you're listening. Can open window.
Dusty can vacuum, can clean, but fresh moving air cannot replicate.
Hip. I'm sure like Singaporean, like especially Singapore Chinese people, hip. I'm sure you know your mother, father, grandfather, grandmother. Confirm got say before, hip. Hip 住很 hip 这个地方很 hip. I don't really understand, but I know the feeling.
So for us to circumvent the dog running into rooms that she's not supposed to go into, now all the room doors are closed. My toilet door is also closed. So that corridor to the room is very dark now lah, which is not my favourite thing, but again, impulse control. So we only open rooms to the doors when we need to go in and it's a room that she's allowed to go into. Then when we go in, we will open the door. But when we are not in the room, we will close it. Because again, she is still 10 months old. She's at the age where she might end up going in, peeing inside, and I don't know about it.
Agree.
Yeah, so I need to control, and I don't put a diaper on her, right? So I need to control the space that she's allowed into. And so, in a sense, all the doors are closed lah. But again, that's how we train impulse control lor, and like, don't go where you're not supposed to. Which is, again, that's how we circumvent they just run off. Because if I don't close the doors, right, my dog's going to be like your toddler.
Yeah,
just
correct,
run.
Correct. No, the worst part is, right, we close the door, but the door is sliding door. She slides it open, that's the worst part. So yeah. you can't lock, like...
Thank God my dog hasn't reached the height where she can open doors on her own.
Yeah, so now we go to the bathroom, we have to lock it. We have to lock it because like there was one time I didn't lock. And then I was just using the toilet lah to do whatever business there is, the big, small, whatever. Suddenly, the door open, and then I see nobody. I was like, oh my god, what happened? Like supernatural things happening in the middle of the night. No. Actually, it's then after I see this little head pop up. Hi, mama.
Damn.
Yeah, she knows a lot of things
Damn.
that we thought she didn't know. So we used to like we don't lock because it's like a slide. No, just slide only ma. Like don't lock lah. There's only a few of us at home. But ever since she knows how to slide the door open, oh my god, you have to lock.
Okay lah, the difference is, at least for me, when I go and do my business in the toilet, the door is open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Tong fong.
not like not like when I have guests. It's just me at home, right? I mean, and so
tong fong.
my dog. No, not that you need to tong fong, but also because this dog has at the start, like there was a bit of the whole separation anxiety thing again. So the door was closed. She'll start
Yeah, correct.
scratching at the door and things like that. So to further reassure her lah, in that sense, I will do my business with the door open. But again, then with training of her not being able to come in, like you sit at the door and look at me. You can look at me, but like you don't come into the toilet.
Like my toddler is at the age where she also has separation anxiety. That's why she keeps coming into the and then she want to hold my hand while I like am doing like the largest business in my life.
Oh damn. Okay, at least dogs don't need me to hold their head when I
she'll just expose me lah by doing that face, like that stinky face.
Damn.
Yeah, and she wants to hold my hand while I'm doing the business, and then she just want to be around me, want to even sit on me, on my lap.
Boundaries, kid. Boundaries.
The kids have no boundaries. Especially like toddlers have no boundaries when it comes to like dealing with their anxiety.
Okay lah, dog also don't have lah, to be honest. My dog is what they call a Velcro dog. Okay, so for background knowledge, I have a Cavapoo, which is a cross between a Cavalier King Charles and a poodle. And they like to call Cavapoos Velcro dogs.
Oh.
Like they really, really just wanna be with you, man, every moment of the day. So like even for this morning, I woke up, I cleaned her up and everything, and then we took a massive nap in the morning because I was just so exhausted. And so I napped and she ended up napping next to me also, right? But it was fine. Like we were in our own spaces, not touching, and she was just next to me. But then suddenly I felt something come between my feet, then lick my feet. Then next thing I know, got something lying on my foot. Then I was just like, sis, sleep by yourself. Singapore very hot.
Contact nap.
But yes, so Velcro lah, huh?
Skinship.
So I think in that sense, living with one extra thing, your boundaries get tested every day.
Yeah, but the good thing is you guys have never lived with in-laws before, right?
Yes, that's a good thing. We don't live in in-laws.
Yeah. My case, I do. I stayed with my in-law.
Wait,
shortly before.
How was your living situation like? So y'all were...
We just shift out like to live on our own, like myself, my spouse, and my kid.
Oh.
So before that, like after marriage, throughout the pregnancy, I was staying with my in-laws. Yes, then my kid, like she grows, then we realize we need space lah, because we are all like three of us always co-op in the same room, and then she hates to sleep on the cot, and then like because my husband's room is not really like child friendly, and then the house is really not child proof because like for more than a decade, everybody staying there has been adults, so we didn't make adjustments in time, so it could be like, how do I say, it's a bit dangerous lah. And she walk here, then the PowerPoint's like no cover, and then very low, then we apply in something. So like, but of course I can't change everything. Like I can't change like how the way my in-laws live for the sake of just one person who might shift out very soon, because we are already looking for a place to stay lah. Like during the course of pregnancy, we've been looking also. Yeah, just that takes a while lah. Takes a while to see something you like, to see something you want to stay lah, because it's a commitment.
So that means the two of you have never stayed just the two of you lah. You
Never,
went from staying with your own parents to living together but with in-laws.
Yes,
then now
correct.
you move out, two of you plus your daughter.
Yeah, so never 二人世界 before lor. Only like vacation last time lah.
Right.
That explains the kid.
Right. True. Hey. Very productive vacation.
Yeah, so yeah lor, like that lah. That's why living together with like in-laws, I'm quite lucky because my in-laws are pretty nice. It's just that my kid, she's a kid, so a lot of times if they just leave something like out in the living area, for example, then she just run out and just take or just whack, then her hand very dirty, then like to me it's like giving people trouble in a way. Then but I can't really like scold her or like reprimand her or whatever, because she's a kid ma, so it's pretty normal lah. I can only teach her, but kids need to repeat so many times. But it is indeed like 麻烦 lah for people to handle. Yeah lor. So I don't want to disrupt their life too much.
I think it's a bit also like how sometimes people ask us what would we do with our dog if we were going overseas? Like can you put with family members and things like that? And it's one of those things that we don't want to at this point in time. Like I very honestly said that my dog is still a burden, honestly. Like there are times when she might pee wrongly, she might poop wrongly. She's still being picky over food, and I cannot expect someone to help me look after her, and on a day that she's picky with food, right, then they still need to sit there with her, hand feed her for 10 minutes. Like,
fun, right?
It's really damn fun. So when a lot of people ask us what will we do if we want to go overseas, I mean, for now we don't have any plans to go overseas, but honestly, if we really wanted to go, I think for us it would just be putting the dog in boarding, because at least I don't feel so bad, because these people, it's their job to look after these dogs. You
pay for the service.
Correct. Like, I pay you to look after my dog. And you are experienced to deal with dogs that misbehave, dogs like where they pee and poop. You are paid to like clean it up and everything. So like I don't have to burden another family member to like please go and walk my dog and then clean up after them, bathe them, that kind of thing, right? So in that sense, I get the whole 麻烦 part where
为什么他们要为你的行为买单? Because it's my choice to have a kid. They might not want to have a kid in their area. Like they were not expecting a freaking kid to save them. Like, 为什么有这个东西？我都没有讲过要孩子。
For sure, mine is dog. That day, my mom just told me, because my brother has a son, right?
Yeah.
And so my mom is super happy with the grandson. Like, wow, the grandson now in Singapore somewhere, every day must go and visit. Then my brother got that day tell me, you got problem with your dog? Don't tell me. I don't know how to help you. If you had a child, you still can tell me. I can still try and help you.
Okay,
dog, I don't know how to help you. I mean, it's not wrong, but that's really just in your face of like, I didn't choose this for you,
correct,
like
correct.
Don't come and disturb me with it. But I get lah, because my mother's damn scared of dogs lah. I tell her also no point. She also won't know what to do. She just tell me dogs. Okay, no, not that extent
but
lah.
Then I'm quite sure some grandparents they also don't want to handle their grandkids.
I think there are those kind of grandparents.
But I'm very lucky lah. Mine want to lah.
Yeah.
Or always ask, where is she? Where is she?
I've seen grandparents that are happy to have the grandchild, but they are also in the school of thought where I want to play only. I don't want to look after, right? It's good to have grandchildren, and I am great to have them at gatherings and I play with them for a while, but don't give me the child for more than like 5 hours.
So there are like a few layers to this.
Yes.
Like I want to take care and I also want to play with them. Then there's the taking care but play
just
care.
Play, yeah.
And there's also another like, no, please don't come and bother me with that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably there is lah.
There probably is lah.
Yeah, because they might be struggling with parenthood. They think, oh my god, you're so baby, wow, annoying. It's a cool, wow. They are the haters on the plane.
That's true.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, I'm sitting beside baby. Could be them.
I mean, I have a lot of friends with kids, and I'm still the kind of person that when a baby cries on the plane, I'm just like, oh my god.
That's why you by choice don't want to have a kid, ma. So if these people like for example you grow old, right? Then I mean, like, you also don't want the kid to be around you, ma.
I mean, I know you grow old. Now I really don't want right? Like, I choose when I want to have kids around me. So, like, I go to gatherings with my friends that I know they are bringing their kids. Okay, I will deal with kid that day. But when I take a plane, I really don't want to be dealing with. I'm already so uncomfortable, right?
So like, you check in, you ask, you got kid or not today?
And then I never ask lah. I usually don't ask. Then when
shift me far.
When I get on the plane, then I realize half time I'm just like, good luck.
Pro tip, don't sit around the bulkhead seats.
Yeah, so I don't anymore. Like,
Pro tip.
to be fair, I don't like to sit near bulkhead seats also. Because I don't, as in, you know the kind of people that end up in the bulkhead seats, right?
Yeah.
And so you already don't want to sit near them. The only times that I sit near the front is when I'm on work trip. And I need to like be the first one off the plane once they let the cattle class people go, right? And I need to because you must offload your first class, your business class, everybody first ma, we cattle, okay?
Cattle class or you say on cattle class.
Yeah, so once they let cattle class go, right, work trip, and I have like colleagues or bosses in the further ahead classes and we need to catch up to them, then yes lah, I will take the seats in front. But again, work trip, so different mentality. I cannot enjoy on a plane means I cannot enjoy on a plane. Too bad.
So for those who always choose bulkhead seats, Yo is talking about you guys.
Yeah.
By choice.
I know that y'all need this seat, so please by all means go ahead. I will just choose the back. Okay. Bye. Like, no.
Yuan bye.
Goodbye. Okay. 'Cause, it's only so much my ears can take in one flight. The pressure is already enough to kill me.
Yeah. Sometimes they do have like service dogs on board and like those.
I actually haven't met a service dog on board yet.
You have not?
I have not.
I have.
Of course lah, you work.
Yeah. For context, like I used to work. I used to work with airlines. So yes, I have seen them on board before. Do you know? Do you like people around are not encouraged to pet like to
Yeah, no.
interact
So
with them?
service dogs are there to do a job, right? No, but so that's the other thing. If you've seen service dogs, I think it's not so bad because service dogs are generally not a nuisance to people. And
No, you haven't seen the emotional support.
yeah, okay,
ones.
it's the emotional support dogs or like people that are just going on holiday with dogs because
And
like
they put it as emotional support dogs.
no lah, not all lah. Cause like my cousin goes overseas with her
Mhm.
dog and she doesn't classify it as an emotional
Oh,
support
that's
dog.
fine. That's fine.
And then she brings it with her in cabin lah on
Mm.
the various airlines that allow and to the countries that allow. So, and I think these are the dogs that can potentially end up like the crying babies that people don't
Yeah,
like,
correct.
right? Because there's a lot more training that you need to put your own dog through. Service dogs are a different breed because
Yeah,
service
because they
dogs
been
have
trained.
so much training and
Mhm.
service dogs generally don't cause a nuisance unless their owners are going through something. And even then, it's not a huge ass nuisance.
And unless people around them annoy
Correct.
them.
It is not like a huge commotion kind of thing.
Mm.
They do need to get attention because their owner is in trouble.
Mhm.
But that's as far as the disturbance goes lah. Generally throughout the flight, if whoever they are the service animal dog for is fine, they are completely fine. They are completely chill. And I don't think that those would be the problem. The problem comes when it's a dog that's not well trained. A dog that you're bringing overseas for holiday that you didn't train properly. Dogs that you classify as emotional support dogs where I think it's a thing especially more prevalently in the US
Yeah, correct.
where people classify them as so and they are not the same as a service animal, but they are still allowed on a lot more things lah than a regular pet would be. But the problem is they are not trained because emotional support dogs do not go through the trainings that service animals go through.
They don't just give damages, they give emotional damage.
I'm dead. It's true. So I don't know what support they give lah. I think they cause most of the damage lah, to be very honest.
I don't know. I can't speak for them.
Yeah.
I don't know animals enough to say anything.
I mean, they can be a great support, honestly, but they can also cause you a lot of trauma lah. Let's just put it that way. Some dogs have the worst temperament lah. I don't know.
Same for babies lah. Some babies are like emotional support babies also on board. Like they support like the people around them emotionally. Like they're so cute, right? Then it's uncomfortable. The fact, your ear pain, everything.
Then you're
But
like,
the
you look
baby
at the
so
baby.
cute,
The baby's
yeah.
dealing so well. Okay lah, I can do this
The
lah.
baby so cute, huh? Then smiling at you, or like wow, then playing with you.
Then the baby start to cry. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But some babies like they really hold it in. I've seen babies who are holding it in.
I've seen
They're
babies
super
like that
cute.
too. Like I don't realize there was a baby on board
Mhm.
until we see them getting off. They were like, "Hey, you on the flight with me? Ah?
Yeah, right.
Why I never hear you?"
Or they try to hold their tears back. Have you seen it before? Oh. Like they really think they're very noisy, so they're like so
Damn.
cute. Like a bit older lah, not exactly baby, but probably like toddler, like 2 years old kind. Yeah, so they roughly understand what's happening around them.
Wow, how do you even get to this topic?
I don't know like we're talking about living alone or
And
then
living together.
or
Suddenly
then
become go holiday.
digress, man.
Welcome to the conversation between two friends. That's how we've been living the past 10 years of our lives.
Yeah, like we just go to another topic.
Welcome to our daily conversations.
That's right, guys. Like you get surprise bonus topics.
Okay, so going back to where we are at and adjusting and things like that, I think aside from just living patterns, which eventually with two people, everyone says it's a process of getting used to each other, you accommodate each other, pick your battles to fight and choose your hills to die on, right? You cannot fight every single thing and you cannot die on every single hill. So you have to truly pick your battles because in an ideal scenario where we don't talk about splitting and divorce, this is the person that you're going to live with for like the foreseeable future, right? If sleeping in separate beds works for you, that's great, right? Once in a while you sleep in separate beds. Once in a while you have slumber parties, and that works for you. That's great. But again, find that common ground, because you have to live with them for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, please talk to your spouse or your if you are not married yet, like your partner about this.
On all your preferences. And I mean all, okay? You might think it's not a big thing to you, right? But there will come a day when you get so annoyed and you're just like, why did I not talk about this earlier?
Yeah, like maybe you want your toothbrush to be placed in a cup. Then he says we don't need a cup in the bathroom. Then how?
Oh my god.
Like even as small as this, like I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily do that, but I'm
Or
just
like,
saying something very small.
yeah,
in
there
a
could
way.
be really there are big things that you must talk about. Finances, kids, pets, where you want to live, how you want to live. Every day eat cai fan, every day go restaurant, cafe, right? These things are the big things that you should talk about. Maybe we can cover this one day. What should you talk to your partners about before you all come together?
Yeah, correct.
Right?
And
Pets
having
also
kids before having kids also.
Yes, correct.
Unless you like me lah, surprise.
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 So these big things most people know. Yes, y'all must have the big discussions. But once you start to move in together, right? And
too late liao.
yes, so it's one of the things where I've had this experience, and so I don't want to say that I advocate it for everybody, but I encourage. Try and live together before y'all get married.
A lot of people like very Asian mindset. They feel like 女孩子跟男孩子还没有结婚住在一起很掉价.
Okay.
It's very common.
So there's that. Like the Asian cannot stay together until you get married. Christian also cannot live together until you get married. But again, it's 2025, guys. Okay, move with the times. I think more importantly, like, hey, you sign up for Spotify also got trial, right? YouTube Premium got trial, right?
That's right.
Okay, so trial lah. Okay, like I mean, and I know it's difficult because rent is expensive in Singapore, housing is expensive in Singapore.
Some more you got BTO or
yeah. So these are very big commitments, I feel. And if again, don't stretch your finances overly just to do this. But if you ever had the opportunity, right, try living together. Like I say, going to your boyfriend's house for one night is different from living together.
How about like if they stay in like an apartment, going on a very long holiday, like 2 weeks kind or a month, then you stay in apartment, like you have to do everything and wash your own clothes.
So I would like to say 2 weeks is probably not enough.
A month?
A month maybe, but again,
maybe,
who
right?
can afford to go overseas for 1 month, right? If you're going to do that, you can afford a house in Singapore for 1 month, I would think. Or at least like a room with like housemates. Or like now Singapore got co-living, there are co-working spaces,
correct.
there are co-living spaces also. So or like you have all sorts of options, right? So I don't advocate and say y'all should have to, must do it.
Y'all try.
There are a lot of things, a lot of factors that people sometimes just cannot afford, cannot do this, cannot that, parents don't allow and things like that. But if you really had the chance, I would truly encourage, do it. Because it's really in the smallest things that you don't realize that truly end up being your deal breakers.
Yeah, then after that you sign up for BTO, wait for key everything. Then you need forfeit everything leh.
Some more BTO now wait for 5 years, no? Okay lah, now the government say wait 3 years only, okay?
Wasted, guys.
But you have all this time, right? Even while waiting for your BTO. So like just try, okay? So that you really get to know what each other is like, and you also figure out what are your own deal breakers. They figure out what their deal breakers are as well. And that's how you can then find a common ground. That is just with living with each other. And kind of like, I won't say splitting chores, but like splitting who does what, who covers what. You have your preferred chores, they have their preferred chores. There are things that nobody likes to do.
Yeah, what if preferred chores are the same?
Then all don't like one who do, live there. And then the plates never get washed.
Earn more money and hire help.
Yes, so that was my bottom line, right? If there are chores that I hate doing and he hates doing, and money can solve it, right? Then let's just hire part-time help.
The money talk.
To get it done so that we don't get frustrated at each other for not doing it. You know what I mean?
But sometimes very bohua. You will feel very bohua.
But then you see, is it bohua? Okay, so then you have to weigh bohua more pain to you, or both of you don't do. You start getting angry. You angry already, don't talk about it. Then you resent. You resent already. Then like, where's that conclusion and ever do that, right? So how do you get out of it? Because there are some things that you really cannot don't do. You cannot don't wash toilet.
Correct.
You cannot don't wash dishes.
Correct.
You cannot don't wash clothes.
Correct.
Right?
How do you hire someone to wash dishes for you?
Can.
Dishwasher lah.
No. Got part-time help that covers dishwashing also.
Only dishwashing or what?
Can.
Then you need to keep for 1 week, man. Then 1 week.
No, so honestly, it's up to you, right? Okay,
then
so
you hire them come here to wash it.
Even the dishes and things like that. So of course, if both of you truly hate doing dishes, you really, really don't like to do dishes, go and buy dishwasher lah, huh?
Yeah,
but then if you don't have space for dishwasher, okay, nowadays got tabletop dishwasher, just saying. But if you don't have,
not sponsored.
Not sponsored, okay, but have go Courts.
Not sponsored.
If you don't want to buy a dishwasher and things like that, technically there are people you can hire to wash dishes for you. You hire me lah. I can wash for you. I don't mind washing dishes.
Can please call in like or
please
email us.
Please
or
call
leave a comment.
Yo can wash dishes for you.
Leave in a comment.
Quite cheap one. Cheap. I get it done for you.
Yeah, then we'll let you know the details.
Yeah. So, but there are things like this, right? There are chores that you may or may not like doing, and so I feel like if we realize what doesn't like to be done, nobody likes to do it. Maybe no one likes to clean the freaking ceiling fan. Then just hire someone to do it, right? At least you don't have another problem that's festering there.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's very true.
So figure all these out, but then, and because after you figure all these out, right, you have additional other things that come when you have an additional living being in your house.
Yeah, like you have a dog or you have a kid. Who is the main caretaker? Like whenever the kid cry or whenever the dog like whines, who is the first respondent?
Yeah.
Who?
First
then got backup.
First responder like paramedics,
Then they'll backup like, hey, I call for backup. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you the backup or are you the first person?
I think I am the main caretaker, but also because I was the one who really wanted the dog.
For kids, actually, it's honestly speaking, the norm is the mother is the main caretaker lah.
Yes.
And the mother will usually she will naturally assume the role.
And I think because that's also because when the child is a baby, there are a lot of roles that only the mother can do.
Like breastfeeding.
Correct. Right? As much as your partner wants to help you, right? They cannot wake up every 2-3 hours to either latch or pump.
They got breast, but there's no milk.
So they can wake up. I mean, I've heard of partners where the husband wakes up with the wife just so that she doesn't go through it alone.
That's for the breastfeeding people, because
Correct.
for formula fed kids, like, I mean, like
there are
mine,
partners, that do the night feeding so that the mother can sleep.
So I am very blessed if my husband is listening to this. Thank you. Yeah, because honestly speaking, last time when my kid is still like, waking up for feeds and everything, it's my husband. He's the person tanking this thing. Yeah.
But you see, so there are good balances in terms of like, this is a good example of spouses that kind of balance the roles. But again, because with kids, there are a lot of things that mainly it's the mother that can perform the role, which is why I think for human kids especially, mothers tend to take on the role of the main caretaker, at least in their early formative years.
I think because for some strange reason, the mothers like 他们的脑就是 wired in the sense like the mental load is there.
I think a bit.
Like they will think about the kid first, then other things.
Have you ever tried educating your husband about the mental load for caring of a kid? Does he understand what the mental load
He does.
involves?
He does understand. He's helping out also. It's just that sometimes it's not so natural for them. They will think of like for example like he could be like, maybe we are going on a trip, for example. The first thing he think of is how we getting there, like how much money is required and all these things. Whereas the first thing I think of is what my kid needs. Like how many diapers I need to pack and all these things. So it's a different kind of mental load. For his it's like the bigger picture, like the finances, like the how do you go, like where are you going, like how do you go there and everything. But for us it's more of like the pack what lah, need to how many feet.
It's the same thing with my dog. So like there are, when we do bring our dog out, there are a lot of things I mean, there are people that can just bring the dog out and go, right? They're fine. But my dog is, again, a puppy. She still has many needs, and like there are a lot of things I need to bring out when I go out with her. Like bringing a baby out, I need to bring poo bags. I need to bring a pee pad in case she anyhow pee, I can soak that up. So poo bags again, wet wipes, treats for when she does something well, or I need to keep her quiet, treats, her toys and her water and all that, right? So there are a lot of things also that we need to bring out when we go out with her. And for me, I feel like generally I'm the one that does that, right? I'm the one that packs the bag and we go out. So the few times that we have gone out with her and like my husband meets me outside, so I'm at work and then we want to go out for dinner, for example, and we say, okay, let's bring her out today. And so my husband is the one that has to bring her out, and I didn't pack the bag in the morning. There are times where we already know and I've packed the bag in the morning before we leave. So all he has to do is to take the bag and take the dog, right? And that is already on me. So and then there are times where it's a last minute decision. So I haven't had a bag packed in the morning. He has to pack that bag now and bring the dog out. I need to give him a list of what goes in that bag.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, like
it takes a while for that.
And like I type the whole list and send it across, and he's just like, huh? So many things,
yeah.
That's like, I think you think. Like, excuse me.
But there are some people who really pack very little things. Like I heard from one friend, like he has a friend who also like the kid is around the age of my kid. So he told me like, oh, one day they were meeting up and he said, oh, okay, I'm bringing my kid along. Then he thought like it would be like me, like one huge bag inside got everything, right? But no, this friend just bring a freaking sling bag. Inside got one diaper, one very small packet of wet wipes, and then just a milk bottle.
Then he go with what? Pure blind faith. Then the kid is not
Like,
gonna.
I don't know. Then he said like can leh. Then I'm like can meh?
I know of people that go out with their dogs and don't have a huge ass bag also, right? And
Can you please educate us on like how to pack like?
yeah,
guys?
no,
I cannot leh.
I think for dog easier because for dogs they kind of adapt a bit quicker. Maybe once she starts transitioning out of a puppy, I will update you on how much I bring out when she goes out, okay? But I think at least for dogs in that sense, when they get a bit more secure on what they know, where to do what, right? I think it's a bit easier in that sense, right? I don't need to bring. I definitely need to bring things like water, right? Like treats and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like the peeing and pooing, if they can control, they've learned how to hold their bladders and things like that. I can cut down on those, right? For sure. And so I think for dogs it's a bit easier. But I think for kids, right, you will continue packing their bag, right? Or your bag would be their bag, right? Until they're at least like, I don't know, primary school or something.
No leh. Actually, I've started packing very little things, like very minimal. It depends on how long
Yeah,
you have to bring out
correct.
for. Yeah, if it's just like a, cause they don't eat so frequently right now. They just, and also because they can basically eat anything like after a certain age.
Yep.
So as long as it's not too oily, not spicy, and not too salty lah, then like simple things like bread, like bun and stuff, they can eat also. So it's a lot easier now. You don't have to necessarily give them like milk or like breast milk or whatever lah. So for that, as she grows up, I find it a lot easier packing. But it's very difficult to handle her lah. Honest, because she's screaming lah, running lah, everything lah. Then like cannot like some drunk person, like a tiny drunk person. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Like toddlers are like tiny drunk friends.
Yep, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, really. Yeah, just walk also can fall down. Know what? Then just
Walk also can fall down, laugh at the stupidest things.
Yeah, then play. Then it just happened yesterday. Just whole floor for water and running and laughing like, excuse me, you're gonna fall down. And true enough, she fell.
Zero volume control. What's indoor and outdoor voice?
Yeah. And just look at you and I just scream like no reason one. Then I said why you shouting? 你做什么喊？妈咪听得到，妈咪有听到，两只耳朵都听到了。Then she just look at me and shout again. What? It's like you will never understand toddlers.
Hey, but the thing about kids is at least they will eventually grow up to someone that can understand what you're saying.
And that is the worst part actually.
True lah. I mean, some people say dogs, pets, cats eventually come to understand. I mean, they don't fully understand, but they know what you are asking for when you say certain words.
The
But
kid will talk back.
my dog also will. What? My dog will bark at you.
Bark back only, man.
Yeah.
Understand.
Hey, her bark damn loud. Okay, you have not heard it yet?
I have not heard it yet.
Yeah. Okay. Wait till you hear her bark.
I have not seen her. I realize.
Oh
In
yeah.
real life, I have not seen her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have not.
Okay, you can come over. Play with the dog. Please help me expend some of her energy.
Maybe my daughter would love to play with the dog. She loves.
My dog is currently at the age where she's not great with young kids yet lah, so I'm a bit scared.
My kid is at the age where she's not
Great with anything else.
with anything else. She's just running and shouting and terrorizing
Okay
everyone.
lah, they can terrorize each other lah. Then we can take a break.
Yeah.
Eh, but maybe got chance later got blood.
Yeah, so like honestly speaking, actually back to the topic. Yeah, so like the splitting of roles and everything, you just need a lot of communication now on that.
I think so lah. And I think the mental load aside from things like, I mean, packing, things that need to be packed, like knowing what a child needs, when they're going out and things like that. These are a more tangible example of the mental load.
Yeah.
And there are things also that I guess a lot of times the mother remembers things like vaccinations.
They're wired this way. I
Correct,
feel.
Vaccinations. When do I need to feed this particular medicine? Monthly medicines and
Maternal
things like that.
instincts.
Correct, and I think for me it's the same, right? We do that, but I will admit that while I try to do it, I know I need to do it, right? I'm not great at it. So Google Calendar is my best friend. I have reminders for everything, right?
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but like I put a reminder for like when I need to feed her next guard for like tick prevention and things like that, or like when she needs to go to a vet, when was the last time she went grooming and things like that. And we need to track all that, right? And so it's in my calendar. But then I also realized at the start that even though it's in my calendar, I will still forget
It happens.
because I don't do it the time the thing comes out, right? Like the alert comes out, and then I go by my day, and then by the end of the day I forget, right? And so honestly speaking, we've missed a few doses of tick prevention at the start, and then like I realized 2 days later, then I hurriedly called the vet, like, oh my god, is it okay? Then like if it's just 2-3 days past, it's fine, just feed her now, and then continue the next dose 1 month later lah. And I think after the first few times of that happening, my husband kind of caught on too, and so now because we have a shared calendar where all the pet things go into as well, and so when he sees it, he knows that I would eventually get to it, but like literally halfway through the day, in the middle of the day, especially if it's a day where I'm working from home and things like that, he will ask me, have you fed her the medicine? Right? And it's that reminder to at least for me to check in and say, oh, I haven't feed. Okay, let me go and do it now. Because these reminders, we always put full day, then it will alert at the start. Then if I never touch it at the start of the day, it disappears from my widget, and then I just don't see it anymore, right? So it's a good reminder, and I think he has come to also realize that sometimes whenever he just happens to check in on the calendar, he sees, oh, it's there, then he'd be like, okay, let me go and just check if it's done. And if it's not done, if she's home, she can do it. If I'm home, I will just do it. And I think that helps. So I think while a lot of times the mental load ends up on the mom or like the female figure, it's good to have a communication. Let them know what's on your mind at least, right? And then see how y'all can help each other. Like the expectation is not that you can do everything. Nobody can do everything.
And also for female, it's probably instinct. So to you, it comes very easy.
Yes.
But for the guys, right, they take a lot of effort to
even get there.
To get there, to really like, okay, I need to tell myself, I need to do this, I need to do this, because it's not natural for them.
Correct.
Yeah, so
must give them the chance, okay? Give them benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
You educate your child, you educate your husband also.
For those people listening, right, then you always my husband this, my husband that, please lah.
I mean,
need to say also. You need to tell them.
I am guilty of it, right? There are days when I feel like, why doesn't he know this?
You need to tell them also.
Right? Yeah, like I'll be like, no one told me and I knew it. Why he don't know?
Yeah, because it's instinct sometimes.
Right? But it's the same thing as like how I can go back and say, he can also say, why she don't know how to wash the fan?
Yeah, correct.
Because honestly, I mean,
she don't know how to fix the light bulb.
Because
also
his parents taught him how to wash the fan because they're particular. So they wash the fan at home. My father does it. Like, I mean, I honestly, like we've gone through in the past 2 episodes, I have a bit of privilege here, a bit spoiled.
She is.
And so my dad does a lot of things for me.
Hi, sis.
Like, I have never seen the fan being washed or in the process of being washed.
As in the
standing fan. Like, I go to school, I come home, today clean liao.
For reals.
I mean, when I was much younger, we had helper and all that, and that happened. And then when I was older, like, there are a lot of things that just happen I didn't do, or like, and I was never taught to have to do.
Yeah, so probably for the guys also, because we do it so fast, right? Because it's instinct.
Yeah,
then you just like, since you remember it, then you just do it, right?
Yeah.
So as you do it, then the guys will be like, oh, okay, it's already packed. Okay, it's already packed. But one fine day when they need to pack, and then you nyam at them like, why you never pack? Why you pack wrong?
Yeah,
then they're like,
oh,
first time
correct. Same. I also, I know, like that lah.
Yeah lah. So guys, be kind to each other. With everybody first time on earth.
True.
Like, please, whether your first kid, second kid, third kid, everybody first time on earth, also different experiences.
True. Oh my god, we have so much to say about this. Like, we could go on and on and on.
Yeah. So really lah, like in summary, just be kind to one another. Communicate when you really need to. Like, don't bear grudges and think like the person can mind read or whatever.
And don't think that just because the two of us can say this now, right, means we are completely fine and completely healed adults. No, I tell you first, like,
we control ourselves.
There are some days when our WhatsApp will explode. Just like, I am done. Yeah? But on days where we can calm down, we realize that it's not their fault. It's also not anybody's fault. We are all learning together at the same time. You can get angry at each other, frustrated at each other, but at the end of the day, I think honestly, communication. Yeah, you are working together to, even if you don't have a child and you don't have a pet,
it's still a team.
You are still working together to manage a household, the relationship. And honestly, the basis of a relationship is just better each other's lives at the end of it, right?
Yeah, you don't make each other's lives worse.
Correct. And better is not any, you can define better however you want. Like, it could be better financially. It could be better just mentally. Like, you are doing so much better in terms of your mental health. You are laughing more every day.
Don't 冤相报何时了. Like, you don't want to wash the dishes, never mind, I leave more. Then you stack the whole place for what?
Right? Or like say, everything needs to have a home. Is it? I show you they don't need. Then every day put one thing here, one thing there. Then you just like, there's no point lah.
Right, guys?
Right? Like, there are other things you can fight with, other people you can fight with. Don't need to fight. Like,
you guys against the world.
A bit. Like this, the person that it's he or she is supposed to be your person that you have chosen to live with for the foreseeable future. So honestly, just communicate and talk things out and have healthy conversations. Don't say we communicate, then actually the whole time you're just shouting at each other,
Yeah.
not listening to each other.
Yeah.
I just want to say what I want to say. Then at the end of it, okay lor, whatever. Then walk
Yeah,
off.
whatever. Nonsense, yeah, this kind.
Whatever and anything have no place in in such
Whatever.
conversations.
Whatever.
Never mind, 随便, up to you.
Pegro, don't pegro, guys. Like proper communication. Just like you listen with like an open mind.
And try and listen with empathy.
Yes.
Empathy is not easy, but it's not difficult.
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Listening also free.
It's also free.
Actually, speaking also free. But again, my mother always say you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Huh?
So you should listen
Listen
more than
more
you
and talk
speak.
less.
Yes.
But don't be like us.
Wow,
We talk a
great
bit too
advice.
much.
Great advice there. Great advice. Great advice, yo mom.
Eh?
Yo mama gives great advice.
Yo! She'd be happy to hear that. Huh? Every time say I fight her. Only.
Yeah. At least you see, like, this is how parenting does. Like, this is the correct thing that parenting does.
Also, guys, remember your parents were also first-time parents and
Yes.
they were also learning.
No
So
matter you're the first kid, second kid, third
Third
kid, it's also the first encounter they have with you.
it's also their first time living this life. Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone cut your parents a bit of slack. Yes, they might have given us lots of trauma and things that we now need to heal from. But they were also trying their best with whatever they had. Suddenly change topic again. But
Yeah.
we just had to cover that because I think now that we are parents or owners of pets, we also come to empathize on that point where we are all learning and we are all trying our best.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Especially spouse, because you chose your own partner. So let's say if you niam about your spouse, right? Means 你眼光不好, right? It means you have a problem with your 眼光 ma. That's why you chose, like, you think this is my person, this is my best. Then after that, like, walao, 你眼光就这样
You chose the best person for you.
Correct. Like, yeah, if the person is your best person, then you still think this person is not the best person, then it means something wrong with your 眼光 lah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so please 不要打脸的这样.
And so I think with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you've taken away something from this, be it learning how to live with each other, communication, many nuggets today, much yapping from the two of us as well. But if there's anything else that you want us to discuss and talk about, always feel free to leave comments wherever you're listening, whatever platform this is. The both of us check it quite regularly. So just let us know. Or if anything else you want to hear us talk about as well, if you like our voices, for us to continue yapping, please let us know. And then we will look at them and then come and talk about them
And
one
feel
day. Yeah.
All right, so thank you.
And
Bye-bye.